the difference between a local EMS service and a big business EMS? And you said it yourself, big business is regionalized. Spotswood's EMS, we and Helmetta are Spotswood's only client. We are, yes we are. We provide mutual aid, which is different. We are their only client. For Robert Wood Johnson or Monarch, which I don't understand why we aren't discussing Monarch too, because that seems odd to me. And a little, but we are Spotswood and Helmetta's only client. They only provide to us first and foremost. If we go with Robert Wood, all of their regions, because let's be honest, we all know, or maybe we don't know, all those big businesses, they are regionalizing. Their idea is because they want to gather real estate, right? The more towns that they have, because I ran a business, you run a business, you ran a business, you run a business, right? You ran an organization, you work in a business. Business is there to make money. And making volume is how you turn a profit. We do not want a profit. We are not looking for a profit. We are looking for a service, which is what Spotswood EMS provides to the taxpayers of this town. Sure. Now, I do have a question. Are we governed by the Faulkner Act?
Yes.
Okay. So you do understand that you have 20 days once you vote this in before you can take action. Correct? That is what the law says. Within that 20 days, should a petition be filed by the voters of Spotswood that say that this has to go to a referendum vote to the people, you are obligated to cease any action on that ordinance and provide that or revoke it. Is that correct? Because I have the law. And I say that because I ask my kids the same question. I usually know the answer before I ask it. I always tell them that.
I don't know the answer to that one. Dawn, I don't know the answer.
I have to check, honestly, that's the first time I've been asked that question. I have to check this out.
Well, hang on, because I can read it to you.
Well, that won't be necessary.
Okay,
We'll
so,
get it.
yes, I can provide you copies of it before we leave. But, in fact, you can guarantee, because what I've heard from these people today is that they want it on a vote. They want to make the decision, not the 5 of you who sit there. You're not deciding which person or company we want to pave our roads. You know what? I give you that right to do that. Absolutely. I don't want to deal with that. But when you are talking about removing a vital service in our town, like police, like fire, like EMS, you damn well better be straight that we want to know, and we are going to make the decision for the taxpayers. And we are the ones who voted you. And as I said to Marge earlier, if you guys would have voted 3-2 for this first passing on the ordinance, I might have said, you know what, you heard the heard the people. You spoke for the people. The people of this borough elected you, each one of you, to serve as our voice. And I expect that to happen. And if you haven't heard resounding today, Frank tore up your paper. And you know what? I spent 2 weeks doing the numbers. I got numbers from the mayor. I have scenarios that would work for you as well. I'll be happy to share them with you. I'll be happy to share them with every person in this room. But I'm telling you right now, you vote this, we are going to protest it. So, be ready.
I just have one more thing to say to everybody on the council, especially you, Ed. You served in the military, so did I. This country is based on the right for the people to vote. And I think that you guys did this the wrong way. And it should be these people out here that decide if they go, not you guys. Okay? That's the basis of our country. That's what I fought for, that's what you fought for. And I don't think anybody else should be able to take that right away from us. And that's what you did.
Mike Ayers, 150 Hillside Avenue, South River. I grew up in Helmetta. I went to Spotswood schools, elementary and high school, and I know this community. Spotswood EMS has been there for South River many times and vice versa. I've been on the volunteer side, I've been on the paid career side, both private and municipal base. This is a shame what the borough is or about to do to the local EMS. Every community has different needs. However, there's no comparison for a municipal-based EMS versus a private base. Sitting back here, I was biting my tongue with the Robert Wood Johnson guy. My whole synopsis of his presentation to this governing body is I have a bridge to sell the borough in South River. Okay? He's mixing the facts up. He's comparing ALS to BLS. He's comparing disaster services to BLS. The EMS department is not allowed by law to provide ALS. That's why Robert Wood's been here for 35 years. We're the only state in the United States that has a monopoly that, no fault of our own, we have to choose the hospital. When he says Robert Wood knows the streets, their paramedics knows the street, their BLS might not. As far as the disaster services, every borough is required to have local emergency management. The county does. These services are provided anyway, regardless of the RFP. The disaster services, all these great trucks they have, they're providing that to the state of New Jersey, which the task force is open to all state residents through the OEM. What it comes down to here is, I believe, personal opinions. When the smoke clears, basically the borough, there's no comparison. You're never operationally, you're never going to get the same service. It's not even close. And I'll give you an example. Somebody up here asked the gentleman, where are you going to station the truck? Currently, Spotswood owns several units, or did before the accident. They're all in a heated building. You don't even have in the RFP whether they're supposed to put their truck in a heated building. What are they going to respond to the residents with frozen glucose for a diabetic emergency or frozen water? You're not allowed to idle the trucks anymore with the EPA laws. Emergency vehicles are not exempt. Okay? This is the little quality care down to the tube of glucose or the sterile water that this borough will lose when they're providing patient care to your residents. I've been through this many battles with my borough, and at the end of the day, look around Middlesex County. No other municipal-based service is closing because of the Affordable Care Act. That's just the front. Actually, if you look at the trend in the last 24 months, either the volunteers are billing because their theory and mathematics is I would rather get something than nothing. By this borough outsourcing, you're cost recovering the taxpayers' dollars by keeping it in the house. You're not getting anything, okay? But at the end of the day, the CFO is the smartest one up here. Fire is not revenue neutral. Police isn't revenue neutral, nor should the EMS. And because you lost revenue, what if I travel to another town and I have my heart attack at the mall or a car accident out of town? The EMS department or the borough, nobody could control the call volume. If the call volume goes down, your revenue goes down. It has nothing to do with the Affordable Care Act. If anything, the law says everybody has to have insurance. It would provide more people with ambulance insurance, not less. That's all I have to say. Think about it. Listen to the troops. I know they can't speak publicly, but listen to your people.